Welcome to your daily writing habit, episode number 150. If you are writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing your book and you're having some trouble getting it done, you are in the right place. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh, also known as Christine Inc., I-N-K. Every day, I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 18 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that three things in particular have a huge impact on your success, and they can turn someone who doesn't necessarily see themselves as an author into an author. Those three things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's inspirational quote. I get a lot of letters from people. They say, "I want to be a writer. What should I do?" I tell them to stop writing to me and get on with it. And that comes from Ruth Rendell. I like that. Stop writing letters. Start writing your book. So on to today's lesson. It can be a catch-22 writing. Writers are by nature fueled by idea storms. We think of weather, microbursts of creativity, and lightning bolts of inspiration. The problem with living in a psychological weather channel is that it can be difficult to get any actual writing done. So what are the secrets of harnessing all of nature's creative fury in a productive way and getting your writing projects done? For the next week or so, I'm going to give you 10 specific strategies for getting started on your next writing project and locking in the productive habits to get it done. Here are today's first two strategies. Number one, switch gears. And this is a common drum that I beat quite a bit on this show. It's about the internet, of course. In our hyper-connected and constantly plugged-in world, the struggle to focus is real for writers. That's why I find it's important to acknowledge two key settings in your brain, proactive and reactive, and then act accordingly. Answering email, mingling around social media, scrolling up and down your feed on Instagram, web surfing, those are all reactive activities. You're in constant reactive mode to conversations and situations, but you're rarely actually initiating or creating anything. Writing, however, is creating, which is very much a proactive activity. You are the one initiating it. You're not responding to something that someone else has created. Therefore, when it's time to sit down and write, it's important to provide a buffer zone to allow your brain to go from reactive to proactive. This could mean going offline and simply stepping away from your computer for a few minutes to get a cup of coffee or taking a walk, do some yoga poses, change your choice of music, anything that triggers the message in your brain that it's time to stop receiving data, and start creating it. That's the first one. The second one, my favorite thing, is enter your writing cave. So as a longtime professional writer, I came up with the term writing cave, and I don't know, realizing now, I don't know that I actually created it or that or everybody else uses it now. A whole bunch of us use the term writing cave, but it's a phrase that is near and dear to my heart. And I use it to describe the mental state I enter where creativity can flow, uninterrupted ideas can be produced into reality, and from a career standpoint, client books can actually be created and completed. And that's for, freelance writers doing it for a living. Now, you're free to adapt the idea of the writing cave however you please. Like I said, I know like a ton of writers who have, whether it's merely a mental state or you choose to actually designate a physical location as your writing cave, the place where you are at your most inspired and productive. If you do end up doing this, by the way, and construct an actual writing cave, like a lot of my clients do with, certain candles or, inspirational objects or artwork or, anything that inspires you to write, I would love for you to, post a photo of it in my Inc. Authors group on Facebook. Come in and say hello and share your writing cave with us. That would be pretty awesome. So those are today's two writer productivity tips. Switch gears and enter your writing cave. And be sure and check out the show notes for all 10 tips, originally run as a guest blog post for a business friend of mine, Megan McIntosh. This was back on a blog post I did for Megan in 2016. And it's amazing how these things are just as true today as they were a few years ago. And she has a great website, top10productivitytips.com. Again, I'll put that in the show notes. And we're going to take a brief pause tomorrow from the top 10 writer productivity tips because I'm pretty excited. I have an exclusive episode airing tomorrow of Your Daily Writing Habit when I'm interviewing bestselling author Nir Eyal about his new book, Indistractable: How to Control Your Attention and Choose Your Life. And it absolutely goes in line with the two tips I shared today. There's a hint for you about focus. His book actually launches tomorrow, September 10th. And in our interview, Nir and I talk about this thing called attention, where we choose to put ours, and what role the internet plays in that. Specifically, he addresses what he refers to as the myth of internet addiction. Why that internet addiction we hear about a lot? It's actually not real. Definitely want to tune in here tomorrow to catch this very special episode of Your Daily Writing Habit. And then we'll continue on with more of my writer productivity tips the following day. Be sure and drop by my Inc. Authors group on Facebook for motivation, accountability, book writing, and publishing resources, and more. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I'm helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And if you know someone else who wants to do the same, please let them know about the show. Thank you very much. And until tomorrow, happy writing.